I think we've started recording. I'm going to do something that I kind of haven't done before. If you guys use OBS, just so you know, there's this software. It's really, really cool. And I can fade across to different screens and I can cut to different things and you can live stream. So it's called OBS for anyone who wants to online teach. And I've streamed it when I did that WindWorks challenge. You could stream it through Facebook. So you can live Facebook and use your website and everything. For example, if I open up, here's my web page here, and I can open up, here's something that's coming. Check this out. This is not what the video is about, by the way. I'm just talking. That's exciting. That's not the track I was thinking. Anyway, I'm going to do a bunch of... let's get rid of that. Come back over here. I'm going to do a bunch of isolation videos. What's happening in the world at the moment is ridiculous, and often my videos go for way too long, so it's a nice opportunity to just talk about small topics. And so I'm going to do that, and I'll leave it up on my on this YouTube channel here for a couple of days, and then in the description box I'm going to, after a couple of days, make them unlisted, but I'll have the link on the new one that goes up to replace it. There'll be a link in the bottom, so I'll keep them for reference point over at the website on a page there. But there's a bunch of different stuff I want to talk about, and this one, I'm teaching a couple of people in Colorado. I want, especially if you're teaching high school individual students, or you've got your trumpet studio at university, if they have individual lessons, consider this. The two people that I'm teaching are both sort of beginner, intermediate players, but they basically sit there and watch each other's lessons. And I think there's a lot of value in that, where everyone has different issues that we need to work on. And so for one student to pinpoint what the teacher is talking about in working with another student, and then the other student sits down and watches the lesson of the first student. Now, there are all kinds of problems with this, especially in universities, a cesspool of ego at times, and if not ego, well, I mean, being uncertain of your own playing could create anxiety in the lessons, but in sharing lessons it would break that down over time, and then everyone's aware of what they're capable of, and you can appreciate the strengths of other players and see any weaknesses that need to be worked on. So I think it's a good way of combating any insecurities with playing. And there is power, and the special cool thing about the way that I teach all the time, and now a lot of you are just starting to do it because of the shutdown in the whole planet, is I record my Skype lessons and the students get to watch it back. Now, we often in the room, you might use a mini, these days just your phone, and you could, if you don't record the lessons, it's madness, because often in a lesson there is so much information that people can't take it all in. I'm working on a video that is going to shock a lot of people, upset a lot of people. It's been coming for a couple of years. I'm not going to go into it now, but let's just say part of it, I saw a video on YouTube last night about learning. In fact, I'll link it to the description below, because it's profound, and a lot of what I talk about with my teaching is involved with this. The process of learning, mastering learning, is, I love the way this guy put it. There is input, that's step one, input of information. But then, what's the term he used? Of competence. I said it to the students about 30 seconds ago. You think you've got competence, the illusion of competence. You've got the input of the information. You go, oh, I've got that, and then you think that you've got it sorted out. You haven't even remotely sorted it out. I know a lot of people that have gone through the course, and they might not stay for that long, have the illusion of competence. I've got that now, I've got it sorted. No, you might understand it here for 1 second, but the next three steps are reflection, what I call coffee moments. Reflect on the information, go away and consider it. How can I get benefit from that? How can I embed it? Then you implement it, then you share it. And sharing could be in a lesson, which I obviously love sharing what I learn, or just talking to people, verbalizing it. And so having the lesson and videoing, I've just seen in the last 8 months or 7 months, however long I've been videoing the lessons and people watching back, there's an uptick in results. There's no question, because you can tell a student, oh, you're doing this, and they might be able to feel it, or generally they can't. And then you've got to repeat over and over and over in your lessons weekly, what their problems are with their playing, and then set them on the right path. So when they can go home and watch it on video, it's freaking cool, right? So I would get you to consider even filming the lessons and uploading them. What I do is I upload them to YouTube, to an unlisted channel as well. So my channel's going to be bombarded with unlisted videos. So the essence of today's one is quickly consider, especially if you're in a trumpet studio, consider if you're giving single lessons, do joint lessons, but rotate it so the two students aren't always just the same two students. Put them both together and have one student watching, and then they swap. So they will hear information that you say in a different way. They will see other issues that people have that they might be able to recognise and understand, and then share that. This whole community should be about sharing, not fear. And I recommend anytime you've got one student on your own, you're missing an opportunity. Is there someone just walking past? Trombone player. It doesn't have to be trumpet. Anyone who plays a wind instrument. Have a look. A singer. Have a look at what we're working on and the parallels between singing. This is what this video is about. Playing is no harder than talking. You wait for this. It's coming hopefully in the next couple of days. And I know I'm going to upset people. We're talking about the wedge breath. We're talking about humming, singing, aperture corners. I'm showing a lot of different people playing. I'm showing a bunch of stuff. It's basically called I Get You to Consider This, right? And I've had a lot of rejection about the playing's no harder than talking. G'day. Humming is a long word. Hi. Aperture corners. You can tell my brain's all over the place at the moment, because normally I'll just pick it up and go. So playing that note is exactly the same as talking. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I think that was the only essence of today. So share your lessons. Sharing information is very good. Video your lessons so the student can have it. And there is input of information in a lesson. Then there is reflection or coffee moment. Then there is implementation. And in implementation, there's process implementation, process-driven, results-driven. That's all spoken about at the WindWorks course in a lot more detail. And then sharing is a good thing to talk about, not argue about, but conversations of playing. I get you to consider. I get you to consider that has not much to literally do with brass playing, because if it did, it would sound like this. So whilst, and I'm talking from experience, and it's all going to be mentioned in this, consider this video coming up. Hashtag career suicide. I don't care. It's time to call things out. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe. It's heartbreaking what's going on around the world. And hopefully we get through it really, really soon. All the very best and happy playing. Please come along. If you haven't done the Largo Status stage at WindWorks, come and do it. Now's the time. There's going to be a lot of questions and heated debates going on in the next week or so. Let's keep it chilled, friendly, respectful, and we're going to start and open our minds to some different approaches that will challenge many but help a hell of a lot more. So on that note, I look forward I don't know what I'm going to put up tomorrow. Maybe it will be the consider this video. It's taking me a long time to put together, but it's going to be a game changer. Anyway, I'll go now. All the very best to you. Love from Australia, and we'll see you soon. All the best.